Welcome to Straight to English channel, and today we will talk about first date. Oh, you can just feel it, can't you? That nervous energy. First dates are, they're basically an Olympic sport.
A rather fraught social ritual, yeah.
Totally. Your heart is racing. You're trying to figure out if you even like this person, if they like you. And, oh my gosh, do I have something in my teeth?
It is, to use a specific term, a complex social predicament.
A predicament?
Yes. For those of you listening, a predicament is essentially a difficult, unpleasant, or awkward situation that's not so easy to get out of.
That's the perfect word for it. And, well, that's our mission today. We've been sort of observing this date between two people, Leo and Emma.
At a cozy, perhaps slightly too dark, Italian restaurant.
Exactly. And we're going to extract all the key vocabulary, the etiquette, the slang, basically everything you need to navigate this kind of situation.
We'll be covering the crucial moments. First, how they broke the ice, then how they moved on to common interests, and, of course, how they dealt with the dreaded awkward silence.
Oh, the awkward silence. The worst. But, okay, let's start at the beginning. The tension was, wow, you could feel it. Leo was already there, checking his watch, just fidgeting.
Indeed. His anxiety level was, shall we say, elevated.
Yeah.
And then Emma arrived, and immediately all the focus shifted to that first impression.
And she knew it. Her first line was, it had a little spice to it. She said, I almost didn't recognize you from your profile picture.
Ah, a fascinating opening gambit. That isn't just a simple observation.
No.
No, it's a social test. It's a small jab, really, designed to see how he reacts, to gauge his confidence.
So was she saying he looked worse in person? Because that's what I would think.
Not necessarily. She's giving him a chance to be charming, to be witty, and to his credit, he was. He didn't get defensive.
No, he didn't. He came right back with a really strong compliment. He said, you look stunning. That dress really suits you.
A perfect counter. Now, let's put that word under the microscope for a moment. Stunning. It's very high praise. It means something is so beautiful, it's almost amazing, or breathtaking. It's a powerful word, not a casual one.
So it shows he was genuinely impressed.
Exactly. And Emma, very smoothly, returned the compliment. She told him, you look very sharp yourself.
Okay, so stunning, sharp. What's the difference there?
A useful distinction. While stunning can describe general beauty, sharp is typically used for someone, often a man, who is very stylish and well-dressed. It implies a clean, put-together look.
So, like, if I've got a new haircut and a nice shirt, I look sharp.
Precisely. It's about presentation. So with that, they've sort of navigated the first hurdle, the initial appearance check. Now they had to actually talk.
Right. And they started safe, the restaurant. Leo said a friend recommended it for the pasta.
And Emma mentioned she loves Italian food. A solid, if predictable, start.
But then came the real questions, the classics, tell me a little about yourself. And then the big one, what do you do for a living?
That phrase, what do you do for a living, is just a more formal way of asking, what's your job?
Yeah. And their answers were so different. Emma said she's an architect. She said it was stressful, but rewarding. That word felt important.
It's very revealing. It shows she looks for purpose in her work. Now, contrast that with Leo. He's a software engineer at a startup.
A good job. But he just didn't seem excited about it at all.
He was visibly bored. And when she asked him if he liked it, he used a very specific, very common phrase. He said, it pays the bills.
I love that phrase. It's so casual.
It is, but let's analyze the subtext.
Right.
When someone says their job pays the bills, they're signaling that it's a necessity, it provides money, but it doesn't provide passion or fulfillment.
So it's like he's saying, my job is just a job, it's not who I am.
Precisely. It is a pragmatic statement of fact.
Yeah.
And this is where we find a crucial piece of first date etiquette.
What's that?
While it's okay to ask what someone does, you should absolutely avoid asking how much money they make.
Oh, yeah. Big mistake. No politics, no religion, and no salary talk.
Correct. You want to find shared values, not start an argument. And Leo, to his credit, understood this perfectly. He pivoted. He changed the subject from his boring job to something he's actually passionate about.
Hiking and photography. This is where the whole vibe of the date changed. He used this great phrase. He said, I am really into hiking.
A wonderful phrasal verb. To be into something is the most natural way to say you're interested in it or you really like it. It's much better than just saying, I like hiking.
So you could ask someone, are you into jazz music or something like that?
Exactly. It invites a more conversational response.
Yeah.
And Emma's reaction was just electric. She said, no way, me too.
And Leo, he got so excited and he replied with this other piece of slang that could be really confusing. He said, get out.
Yes. And if you didn't know the slang, you might think he was angry.
I would. I think he was telling her to leave the restaurant.
But that's not what it means at all. In this context, both "no way" and "get out" are just expressions of, well, of complete surprise and amazement.
So they're like saying, wow, I can't believe it.
That is the perfect way to think about it. It's a linguistic high five. And he followed it up with the key phrase. That is a huge coincidence. We have something in common.
Which just means they share the same interest.
It's the moment of connection. Finding something you have in common is really the primary goal of a first date. It's the foundation for everything else.
And after that, they just relaxed. They started laughing. The whole predicament just sort of melted away.
It stopped being an interview and started being a real conversation.
You know, it's these little explanations, like the difference between sharp and stunning, or knowing that "get out" can mean you're excited. This is exactly why you should subscribe to Straight to English. You learn the language that people actually use.
A valid point.
Yeah, that.
Now, after they chatted about hiking for a while, the next challenge arrived with the waiter.
The check. Dun-dun-dun.
The mood always shifts a little bit, doesn't it? But Emma handled it very well. She immediately offered, we can split it.
Okay, let's break this down. The money part. What are the options?
Well, option one is what Emma suggested, to split the bill. You might also hear the phrase, to go Dutch.
Go Dutch.
Yes. Both mean the same thing. Each person pays for their own share, usually 50-50.
That seems fair, pretty common these days.
It is. But Leo went with option two. He waved her offer away and said, no, put that away. It's on me.
And "it's on me" just means
I will pay for everything. It's a gesture of generosity. And notice Emma's reaction. She didn't fight him on it. She just said, that's very sweet of you. Thank you.
Yeah, that's important. You don't want that awkward back and forth over who pays.
It can be very uncomfortable. A gracious acceptance is always the best response.
So those are the main ways to handle it. But what about when the conversation just dies? You know, the awkward silence.
The conversational vacuum, yes. It's when nobody is speaking and you can feel the discomfort growing.
It's the worst. It can completely kill the mood. How do you fix it?
The key is preparation. You need to have a few open-ended questions ready.
Open-ended.
Meaning questions that require more than a yes or no answer. A bad question is, did you like the food? The only answer is yes, and then silence again.
Right. So what's a good one?
You could ask about travel. Something like, have you traveled anywhere interesting recently? That prompts them to tell a story.
I like that. What else?
You could ask about aspirations. Building on what he said earlier, she could ask, you said your job pays the bills. If money wasn't an issue, what would you really love to do?
Ooh, that's a deep one. It gets to their real passions.
Precisely. Or you could ask about culture. What's the last book you read or movie you watched that really made you think? It opens the door to a much deeper conversation.
So if you're prepared with a few of those, you can avoid the silence altogether.
You can. It's about steering the conversation, not just letting it drift.
Wow. So to recap, you need the right compliments, like stunning or sharp. You need to understand slang like "get out" and phrasal verbs like "I'm into."
And you need the vocabulary for handling the payment, like split the bill or it's on me.
All of these things helped Leo and Emma turn an awkward situation into a really promising connection.
They navigated the linguistic and social landscape quite successfully.
So that brings us to a final thought for you, our listeners. We saw Leo, maybe traditionally, offer to pay for the whole meal, and that got us thinking.
In your country, who usually pays on the first date? Is it expected that the man pays? The woman? Or is splitting the bill the standard?
The answer can tell you a lot about cultural norms. We'd love for you to think about that.
And if you don't want to miss any more of these deep dives into real-world English conversations, social cues, and language analysis,
then you need to make sure you hit that subscribe button for Straight to English. We'll keep breaking down these complex situations for you.
We'll see you next time.